Hello, Impact Academy community. Welcome to the 2020-2021 info session. My name is Omar Bryan, and I am the Vice Principal at Impact Academy Middle Grades. Thank you for joining us, and please stay tuned as we introduce ourselves.
Mr. B, you are on mute.
Hello again. This is Mr. B, and this is Mr. Key. We would like to just take a moment to do our school vision and mission together. You ready, Mr. Key?
I'm ready.
All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. We love learning, crave excellence, and access our agency so that we all become leaders in our community, college, and careers. Thank you for doing that with me, Mr. Key. And then, of course, like to introduce Ms. Green.
High school, and in the high school, our mission is to prepare and inspire all students to enter, succeed in, and graduate from college.
Thank you, Ms. Green. All right, Mr. Key, take it away.
All right, we are so happy that you are joining us for this info session, and we are glad to introduce you to some of our staff and students and families here at Impact Academy to welcome you into our school community to learn a little bit more. So we will have some students and families joining us now, and please say hello. Hola Maria, ¿cómo está? Hi Maria, can you please introduce yourself? Por favor, introduzca a usted. ¿O está en mudo?
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es María Rangel. Yo soy mamá de Rafael Rangel, un estudiante de Impact Academy.
Hello.
Hi Rafael, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Rafael, and I'm an 8th grader at Impact Academy Middle School.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can't wait to hear more from you a little bit later. And now we have Ariela. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ariel Lara. I'm a high schooler. I'm a freshman at the high school at Impact Academy.
And Mr. Williams?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Williams. I'm a 7th grade English teacher, and I want to say hello to everyone watching this program.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Williams. Take it away, Mr. Naris.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Bienvenidos. My name is Steve Naris. I am the college advisor at Impact Academy High School.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Naris. And Linda.
Hello, I am Linda. I work in the high school. I'm the school manager. This is my 15th enrollment.
Wow. Thanks for joining us, Linda. And hi, Deja. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Deja, and I'm a 6th grader at Impact Academy Middle School.
Thank you for joining us. Are you here with your mom too?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for introducing yourself. All right, Mr. B, so we're going to take it on to the next slide. Just to say hello a little bit more, my name is Joel Key, and I am the principal here in our middle school. I have been at Impact Academy since 2008. I started as an art teacher in the high school, then became a vice principal in the high school, and then started the middle school in 2016 with Mr. Brian. So I'm so glad to be here at Impact. I love this community, and I can't wait to share a little bit more about it with all of you. Now I'm going to pass it on to Miss Green, who is our high school principal. Oh, and there's a picture of me at one of our graduations with some of our amazing Impact Academy graduates.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Miss Green. I have been at Impact. This is now my 10th year here. I was born in Hayward and grew up here. I went to All Saints Catholic School and then Hayward High. And so I'm really proud to serve my home community. When I first arrived at Impact 10 years ago, I taught US history. This is a picture of a group of students and myself in Washington, D.C. We took a trip to learn more about our nation's capital and how the government works, because that's a really important foundation for what I think of as education, is becoming civically engaged so that you can make change in the things that you see around you. I am just beginning my 4th year as principal in the high school, and I'm loving every minute of it.
All right. So what is Envision Education? We consist of 3 schools located in San Francisco, in Oakland, and in Hayward. We are a college prep solution with grades 6 through 12. We've won many awards. We are a public school, and we are free. I want to say that again. A lot of times people think that we're a private school or that it costs money, but that is not true. We're definitely a public charter school, and we're free. We're also pretty small in comparison to most of the schools here in Hayward in middle school and high school. We have 465 students in the high school and 375 students here in our middle school. Our school really focuses on project-based learning. Every student gets a computer, and we do have sports and clubs, even though we are a little school. We have high expectations for all of our students at Impact. And this means that when you get into the school, we really expect you to be here with us from 6th grade all the way until 12th grade. We don't want you to transfer to a different high school because we believe in our program and think that building each year from 6th to 7th to 8th to 9th to 10th to 11th to 12th will be most helpful for our students' success. Attendance is super important. We are very, very proud of our attendance rate in the high 90s. So we do expect every student to be at school every day. Also, we have college field trips every single year. That means 7 times you get to go to 7 different schools. All of our students present their portfolios, and you'll find out a little bit more about that later in this presentation. And every single student applies to a 4-year college in their 12th grade year. Now I'll pass it on to Miss Green.
Sure. I'm super proud to share these next slides about our award-winning program. These graphs were created by an organization called Innovate Public Schools, and they study schools in the Bay Area to learn about how they are eliminating the achievement gap for Black and Brown students. And so what these graphs show, I'm going to see if my little pointer, nope, it doesn't show up. But on the left-hand side, it shows 3 circles. The biggest one is all the schools in the state that serve a significant proportion of Latinx students. This smaller one is the proportion of schools in the Bay Area that serve a significant portion of Latinx students. And then this small circle represents the number of schools who help close the achievement gap for Latinx students. So that means that an impact is a part of that small circle. And so what that means is that impact is doing right by our Black and Brown students and helping them to achieve those test scores that we know will help them be successful in college. Mr. B, can you go to the next slide? These charts show that, and something that we know to be true at Impact Academy, is that all families and all students want what's best for their kids. The majority of students want to go to college and want to have the opportunity to go to a four-year university. But what this graph shows on the right is that most students graduating from high schools in the Bay Area do not graduate with the credits that they need to be successful or to even be accepted in four-year universities. Next slide, Mr. B. Impact Academy breaks that trend. Every single student who graduates from Impact Academy High School graduates with the classes they need to be accepted in a four-year university. And that's why Impact Academy is ranked #1 on Innovate Public Schools report for last year. And it's something that we are really proud of, is achieving our college-going mission.
So our amazing staff and students are the people who accomplish those results. And so we would love to let you hear from some of our students and parents and teachers now about what you love about the staff at Impact Academy. So Mr. Williams, welcome back. Can you tell us a little bit about what you love about the staff at Impact?
The thing that I love most about the staff at Impact is everyone genuinely wants to see students succeed. And when everyone is adjoined on that philosophy, then the learning happens, because everybody's in the right direction. So, you have to have the will to have students' best interests, and I think that we certainly do as a staff. And then there's the excellent teaching. We have phenomenal teachers at our high school and certainly at our middle school. And as you all have alluded to, the test scores speak to that. But not only that, I think the narratives of the students talking about their experiences that they've had in the middle school and the high school speaks even louder about their overall experience. So that makes me feel great just knowing that I'm a part of this community.
Yeah, and we love having you teach our 7th graders here. And I like what you just said about the students' narrative, because we actually have a couple of students here who are also going to share with us about what they love about the staff at Impact. Hi, Raphael.
Hello.
So what do you love about the staff at Impact? Do you have a favorite advisor or teacher?
Well, I don't really have a favorite teacher because they're all great. Like all of my teachers, like if I have missing work and they know that my grade will go down, then like they would tell me like, oh, you have to do these assignments and your grade will go up and stuff. And there's also like office hours, which is pretty good for you. If you need help on something, you do your work and your teachers can help you out more than what they help you out in class to get your grade higher.
I'm so glad you're already giving recommendations for students to go get extra help in office hours. It's such a good hint. Thank you, Raphael. Hi, Deja. What's one thing that you love and your mom loves about the staff so far at Impact Academy?
One thing that I love is that all the teachers are really nice, and when I need help with something, they'll help me, especially in office hours.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Impact as well, is how helpful the teachers are, sending the reminders, and they really show their concern, when they see that your students need help. And if I had to pick one teacher, I mean, they're all great, but I think Miss Lay, the math teacher, she's a really nice teacher because she sends me reminders all the time asking me to have Deja do something. So that's really great. So
really,
Impact is a great school. I like it a lot.
I'm really glad to hear you enjoy all those reminders.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hola María, ¿qué te gusta de los asesores y maestros favoritos aquí en Impact?
Buenas tardes a todos. Pues yo en lo personal, creo que no tengo un maestro favorito porque todos para mí son favoritos. Porque yo desde que llego a Impact Academy, todos los maestros nos reciben con una sonrisa y todos están listos para ayudar a los estudiantes en lo que ellos necesitan y siempre motivándolos para que ellos sigan adelante echándole ganas. Y yo estoy muy contenta y lo puedo ver en mi hijo porque él desde que entró a Impact Academy, él ha estado muy contento, muy feliz. Nunca se levanta enojado o que no quiere ir a la escuela. Siempre se levanta muy contento porque él está muy contento y pues contento con todos sus maestros. Yo en esa parte puedo ver que todo está muy bien porque él está feliz ahí. Y con todos sus maestros, él está feliz. No hay un maestro que pueda elegir uno porque yo puedo decir que desde el momento en que entra uno ahí, tanto como directores, personal de oficina y maestros, todos están recibiendo con una sonrisa y yo estoy muy contenta de estar ahí en Impact.
Pues
Gracias.
muchas gracias, María.
Gracias.
Hi, Ariella. What do you love about the staff at Impact? And make sure you take yourself off mute.
The staff at Impact are truly and incredibly amazing. They've always made me feel so welcomed, and each and every teacher and staff member have always put an effort to help to help one another, to help the students in building that community. When I'm someone who tends to put a lot of pressure on myself, and I always want to put the best effort I can, and I'm just someone who puts a lot of work on myself. And all of my teachers understand that, and they have always been there for me to say, hey, take a breath, slow down. And that is truly always so helpful for me. And they help every single student, and I know that every single staff member here care about what we think and how we feel and are always there to support and encourage us each and every day.
Thank you, Ariella. I'm so glad that you're having a good start to your 9th grade year.
Yes.
I can't believe you're already a 9th grader. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So on the next slide, you can see some of our incredible staff here at Impact Academy. They aren't all here tonight, but they are working super hard on behalf of all of the students in our school. We have over 60 total staff members between the middle grades and the high school. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade classes. So one of the questions we get a lot is, what does a 6th grade, 7th grade, or 8th grade class look like? Or even a schedule look like? So all of our students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Raphael, are you playing music for us?
Yeah.
I like it, I like it. Some banda?
Yeah.
So all of our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders take 6 classes. So they take English, math, humanities, STEM, which is like science, physical activities in 6th and 7th grade, and art and design in 8th grade, and then a class called Flex, where students get to work on their mindsets and collaboration and get help for their other classes, as well as advisory. So, Raphael, looking at these classes, can you tell us about one of your favorite classes that you've taken at Impact and what you enjoyed about it or what you learned?
Yeah. So like for English, it's like they help you improve like with um like pronouncing stuff and all that, and helping you better with your English. And in math, depending what grade you're in, it's like they help you so it won't be that hard, you know, and it won't be that hard, and you can be able to understand and be better at math. In humanities, it's more like history. You learn about like the past of like the Aztecs, Mayans, and all those people. In STEM, you learn about your body and all these stuffs. And for sixth and seventh grade, PE is like um, physical activities. You learn how to play basketball, if you don't know, baseball, soccer, and all these games. And for art, well, I've already started this year, and it's pretty cool. I like it. You just learn different ways how to like draw and other stuff. And it's pretty cool because there's a lot of techniques that I didn't know. And this year I was really excited for art, but I guess we had to do it on Zoom, which sucked. But yeah.
Great. Thank you, Raphael. Hi, Deja.
Hi.
What's one of your favorite classes that you're taking right now, and what are you learning?
One of my favorite classes right now is probably STEM class because I like to learn like the new things about my body because the cells and stuff. And Miss Dorman is also really nice, and she said hi to everyone every time. And I like to do the work. Like I love her. I like to do the work for her class because it's not too hard and it's not too easy.
Great. Sounds good.
Hi. I'm not in 8th or 7th or 6th grade. I'm a 9th grader, but I have one of my favorite classes that I'm taking is called Digital Media Arts, and this has allowed me to take one-of-a-kind photos and have great composition and learning new editing skills or video techniques that we can use when you're filming or when you're taking pictures. And if you want to take this particular career, the unit was structured in a way where we were able to learn and gain different ideas of what it would like to take on this career path, or overall it was just an amazing unit where we were able to explore and take photos and get as much videos as we can. And I loved this unit so much personally because it allowed me to really express my creativity and really get out there. And the difference between digital media art and between the art that middle school students have, I feel like, is that the digital part is what's different there, where we're using more of technology and how that can be used in different art forms. But yeah.
Great. Thanks for describing digital media. I used to teach that class. So I'm a big fan of it as well.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Williams, what class do you teach and what do you appreciate about the instructional program here at the middle grades?
I am the 7th grade English teacher at the middle school. And what I really appreciate about the instructional program is the administration is really intentional about what the expectations are for students and what they should learn according to state standards and so on and so forth. And then you trust the teachers to use their creativity to, in a really authentic way, bring those skills and those standards to life in a way that incorporates the students' culture, their feelings, their interests, their aspirations. And I enjoy that because that was fun for me, and having the ability to share my narrative with my students, hopefully has been engaging for them over a period of time. So I think the authenticity that we have as teachers, knowing that there are standards and there are expectations that we have to adhere to, really makes this opportunity a lot of fun for me.
Glad to hear it. Thanks for sharing. All right, I'm going to pass this on to, oh, no, I think I have one more slide. There we go. So just after sharing some of the middle school classes, I think that our results are really incredible. In reading, our students tend to average 2 or more years of growth in 1 year. Also, as hopefully you can see with our students who are speaking to you right now, the public speaking confidence really improves, and over 85% of our 8th graders pass their portfolio defense on their first try, which is a pretty big deal. Also, we're really proud of our students' growth in math, which results in over 30 students needing fewer interventions when they arrive to their high school class in order to be able to rise to taking higher level math by the time they graduate. And now I will pass it on to Miss Green.
Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to talk about the classes that we offer in the high school, starting with 9th grade. You can see on the slide, all of our 9th graders take English. All of our 9th graders take 2 math classes. They won't necessarily take Algebra 1 and Academic Numeracy because, like Mr. Key said, every year we have more and more students who are placing into advanced math classes like Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and even Calculus, and Geometry. And so it's really exciting growth that we've seen at Impact for our 9th graders in their math skills. All of our 9th graders do take biology, and like Ariella described, they take digital media arts, and they produce really amazing work. I've got to see at least 2 projects that Ariella produced on her own, and they're really fantastic. And just like in the middle grades, all of our high school students have advisory. And now I'm going to share a little bit about what our upper division classes look like. When choosing a small school, it's important to know what kind of electives will students have access to, because oftentimes electives, small schools do result in less choice for students. And we want to acknowledge that even though we are a small school, it's really important for students to have access to advanced courses that can help them gain college credit or the skills they're going to need to be successful in college. So in our upper division, students take AP Government, AP Environmental Science, AP Spanish. All of our upper division students participate in something called a workplace learning experience, which is an opportunity to be off-site volunteering at an internship where they gain those skills and knowledge about real-world careers. All of our upper division students have access to SAT prep. And as I said before, all of our students graduate from Impact Academy with their A through G requirements, which are the classes that universities, UCs, and CSUs require for students to have as they enter into college. And I just want to appreciate Ariella for stepping in there earlier to talk about her classes. Oh, I'm going to bring in Steve right now. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Steve, can I ask you to comment on how we make sure all of our students are ready for college?
Yeah, so one thing that I love about Impact Academy high school and middle grades is we really start to expose the students to what it is to be at a university campus going back to 6th grade, the way Mr. B and Mr. Key already mentioned. We think it's really important to get them to be able to see themselves at universities, right? So those college tours are super important. Also, like you said, Ms. Green, making sure that they're taking all the classes that's going to allow them to be eligible to get accepted to universities. I think beyond also like just the individual meetings that I'll have with students, right, to help them figure out where they want to go, we also have systems in place that happen every year and they repeat every year. For example, we have our annual CSU Application Day where we get a bunch of college advisors to volunteer and we'll help the students literally complete the CSU application, and we help them step by step along the way, line by line. And I think things like that really help the students get through a lot of the hurdles that if they were on their own, it would be difficult for them to complete it all the way through, right? And so you wouldn't have as much success rates. So I'm really proud that we do those types of things. We have that personal touch, but then we also have big, like, school-wide efforts that we do, and we do those every year. And it leads to kids having a lot of happy times at the end of the year, right? When they're figuring out where they're going and they're getting their acceptances and everyone's giving high fives and hugs. It's a great feeling.
Absolutely. I'm super proud of the fact you mentioned that day where we all work on college applications together. I know that you're hosting it this Friday virtually for our students. And so I just want to prop you for the work that you're doing to make sure that our college going program remains super strong even while we're in distance learning.
Thank you.
And that kind of leads me to our next slide, which is about distance learning. How is Impact transitioning to meet the needs of students during our COVID-19 pandemic? So the first thing we knew about transitioning to distance learning is that we wanted to maintain a really strong community for students. We have to prioritize safety, and so that means right now we're in 100% distance learning, but we still believe that this community needs to be there for each other. And so one of the adjustments that we made was to make advisory meet every single day. So first thing in the morning, our students have 30 minutes of advisory to check in with their small community to see how everybody's doing. We also adjusted our schedule. Mr. Key and I shared that each student takes about 5 to 6 classes at one time. What we did for distance learning was we said, nope, that's too much going on. And we heard from families and students that that was a lot to handle while we were still adjusting to new systems. So we switched to something called our modular schedule. That means that students are only taking 3 classes at a time for about 3 weeks. And so they just get to focus on those 3 classes, and then they switch to their other 3 classes. And we're going back and forth between those 3 classes. We also are implementing a series of tiered interventions. So students who need extra help get that extra support. So there are some students who meet in the mornings in small groups with their teachers to get that extra support. All of our students, like Mr. Key said, have access to Chromebooks that they get from our school that are absolutely free. And each student has access to support with technology because we know that issues with the internet and the Chromebooks come up. And so we make sure our students know how to get the support they need with technology. And I think now I'm going to pass it back to Mr. Key to talk about our school campus.
Yep. So our school campus currently is closed due to COVID-19, but we certainly hope that it will be open in the next school year in order to be welcoming everyone back. So as you can see on the screen, our school campus is divided into 2 parts. The middle school campus is in the upper right-hand corner, that gray area in the upper right-hand corner of the map. And our high school campus is to the left. Those left white classrooms that are on the map there, where Mr. B is moving the mouse around. And we want you to know that we do have separate campuses. We have separate lunches and breaks and bathrooms between the middle school and the high school. We do this because we know that families really want to make sure that students in the middle school have their own area and students in the high school have their own area. And so we listened to families and made sure that that happened when we built our middle school campus about 4 years ago. The school also has shared outdoor basketball court and a soccer field that students can use at lunch. During the regular school year, our day starts at 8:10 and ends at 3:20 in the middle school. And the day starts at 8:30 and ends at 3:45 in the high school. Those times may change, but that is what it has been in the past.
I shared a little bit of this information already, but I just want to emphasize the different ways that we support all students in being successful. So we are a full inclusion school, which means we don't have separate classrooms for our students with IEPs. We have a learning center model, which means we have learning specialists and instructional aides who are teachers who work in small groups. They sometimes push into the classroom, and then sometimes they pull students out for one-on-one support. But we just want to make sure that students are all together in the same classroom as much as possible, because we know that that helps all students be successful. As I said before, we meet with our advisory 5 times a week. Advisors are the person who will know your student best, because we know that when students have at least one trusted adult on campus, they're more likely to be successful. We also host office hours for all classes, which you heard our students mention. They're a great opportunity for students to access their agency and seek out extra support. We offer small group instruction in the classrooms and outside of the classrooms after school for any student who needs extra help. And in 6th through 8th grade, we have different sorts of math and reading interventions to make sure that students get as close as possible to grade level before they enter high school. Impact Academy is a project-based learning school. What this means is when teachers plan, they try to provide opportunities for students that will help them master real-world skills, things that they can transfer from one place to another, one class to another. And what this means for our students is that they present their learning at exhibitions throughout the year. Exhibitions are formal events that all of our family and community members are invited to join. Students get dressed up and everyone's real nervous, and in the end, they're just really wonderful experiences for us to learn from our students. And so I am gonna invite some of our students back to tell us about a favorite exhibition that they participated in. Hi, Ariella. Will you tell us about one of your favorite exhibitions?
Hi. Yeah. All the exhibitions have been great overall, but one of my favorites will definitely have to be the one in 8th grade where we were using our voices so powerfully to and this was an exhibition where it was really difficult for me because I was while I was presenting, I kind of like all that practice and hours had fluttered away from me. But this exhibition showed me to like have so much resilience. And I was talking about poverty and how this is a major issue that needs to be talked about, and how I was using my voice to express that. And even though that during exhibition night, it was very difficult for me to get that word out, I didn't give up and I didn't run away from that stage. I stayed put and I stayed until I was able to just, you know, I found resilience in that moment. And that's why it was one of my favorite exhibitions, because that night it felt like the worst night ever because I felt like I failed. But in actuality, it was my growth, amazing growth moments. And these growth moments happen every day without us even realizing it, but they do and they happen. And all the exhibitions overall have taught me so much, and I've loved each and every one of them.
Ariella, I really appreciate your response and your focus on growth mindset. And I think the idea that when we stretch, when we grow is when we grow, that's something I hope all students walk away from Impact with. Yeah. And now, I don't think we have just other 6th graders in the room. And so I'm wondering maybe if I can bring Mr. Williams up to share about his experience with exhibitions, because our 6th graders haven't participated in them yet. Mr. Williams, thanks for letting me put you on the spot. Can you tell me about an exhibition that you really enjoyed either being a part of or just seeing?
Like Ariana said, all of them are great. I got to think that our first group of 8th graders, they had an opportunity during the exhibition to make like their own inventions, if you will. And I had a student who actually created something to test water, which is pretty incredible. I'm not gonna put her on the spot, but she's awesome. And like Ariana said, the confidence that these students exhibit in these culminating presentations really make you feel like you are like proud parents, because you know the hard work that they put into it. As teachers, we aid them in that process, but it's really their time to shine. So to see them looking great, dressed up, to see the parents there smiling, crying, taking pictures is a fabulous experience for teachers, because just playing a small role in that process lets us know that we're doing something worthwhile.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Raphael, I'm so sorry. Raphael, please tell us about an exhibition you've been a part of.
Well, I've been part of 3 exhibitions. One, it was in 6th grade Humanities, then on 6th grade STEM, because every year you have 2 exhibitions. And last year I only had 1 exhibition because of COVID-19. We only got to do Humanities exhibition, which was awesome. I liked it a lot because I was actually able to work with one of my best friends. And we worked together, and it was this Mayan game, and it's called Poketoke. And it's like the hoops are like kind of sideways, so instead of you having to shoot and it lands, you have to make it from the side with your hips or without touching your hands or legs.
That's so cool. I remember going to that exhibition. You all created your artifacts, and it was like a giant museum. That was so cool. Well, Raphael, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we're going to talk about what learning looks like outside of the classroom. So we like to offer as many opportunities as possible for students to engage in learning outside of the walls of Impact. We offer career field trips for students. As I mentioned before, we have our workplace learning experience for our 11th and 12th graders. We plan museum trips. We plan college trips. We have trips across the country and across the world. Global Glimpse is an opportunity for our students to study in Latin America, and they go for 3 weeks over the summer and complete service learning projects. And then Ms. Patel organizes a Boston trip every year for her students to go and learn about the founding of America.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off, Miss Green. I think what you were going to say is the culminating moment of our students' careers here at Impact Academy is their portfolio defense. So this is a time when students defend their proficient work and their growth in leadership skills and competencies and mindsets. And so students in their 12th grade year, 10th grade year, and 8th grade year present their portfolio. They answer questions from a panel. They get help from their advisors to get ready, and you keep presenting until you pass. And I think a lot of the students that I have known who have graduated from Impact Academy say that their portfolio defense is one of their most proud moments. Like you heard Ariella talking about earlier, that nervousness that she felt when she was presenting at her exhibition, but realizing that she can get through that tough moment and learn resilience. This is an experience every single one of our students gets to experience and realize that they can do hard things, that they can do intellectual things. And so that when they go out into the world, into their careers, or into their colleges afterwards, that they are prepared because they got practice doing it in grades 6 through 12. So Mr. Williams, as an advisor who has helped many of our students prepare for portfolio success, what is one of your big takeaways or something that you appreciate about this process?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is students get an opportunity to express their whole selves. They can speak to what they're learning in their various classes over a multiple year process, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. But what I'm really struck by is when students can actually reflect on how they have grown as individuals in correlation to what's happening in the classroom. So they provide opportunities of growth to share in the various classes. And as you stated, they get an opportunity to talk about how those classroom skills manifest themselves in their regular lives. And sometimes how they can take lessons that they learn in an extracurricular activity playing on a team, being in a particular club, and utilize those skills in the classroom. So when I can see a student represent themselves wholly, it gives me the confidence to know that they're ready for the next level, be it high school, college, or whatever aspiration that they might want to pursue.
Yeah, and because their families are there also, it's this really special moment too for parents or aunts or uncles, brothers, sisters to see the growth of this person in their family who's really learned so much and accomplished so much inside and outside of the school.
Absolutely, because I mean, one of the things that we do also is we value families so much that students, I mean, I know they appreciate their families, but we affirm that. So when they have an opportunity to show what they're learning in school, they want to be their best selves. So they really perform for their families, and just to see, you know, the complete joy and adulation that these families have for their children, again, it's quite something to see as a teacher.
Yeah, totally agree.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right. I think we're going to tell you a little bit about our clubs and sports.
I'm happy to talk a little bit about clubs and sports. We have sports in both the middle grades and high school. We offer boys and girls basketball, boys and girls soccer, girls volleyball, baseball, flag football, and cross country. We also have some amazing clubs. They change from year to year because they're entirely driven by students. But in the past, we have had our committee club at the middle grades, which is like a leadership group that coordinates lots of events. Our video game club, the dance club, the music club. In the high school, we have Mecha, which is a club that serves and includes our Latinx students. We also have the Black Student Union. We have a yearbook club. We have movie club, a book club, and so much more. I was the advisor to the comic book club and a club around planning a trip to DC at one point. Now I have two students here who will be able to share an extracurricular activity that they enjoy. Ariella, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So in the high school, there are so many other clubs, like Ms. Green mentioned, and one of the clubs that I'm in is Yearbook Club. And what we do here is we come together and we basically are designing, and we gain so many skills from Yearbook. We gain time management skills. From the deadlines that we have to keep track of. We are constantly, we even gain photography skills, and we become even more social in the community. And I feel like Yearbook Club was something that I really jumped towards because I wanted to contribute in the community in some way. And I love the idea that I'm designing a yearbook of our whole high school, and it's just really, really cool to me. And I love Yearbook.
Ariella, I really appreciate that you joined the high school while we've been in distance learning and still have made opportunities for yourself to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Raphael? Do you enjoy any extracurricular activities?
I joined soccer for some time. I think it was in 6th grade. I only joined for a bit because then I got busy with more school and all that. Mm-hmm. But in general, it's pretty fun because you get to know more people and other stuff. And 7th grade, I joined the committee club. It's pretty cool because you do events for the whole middle school that can go and all that. And one time we did hot chocolate and we sold it. Then we sold nachos, and I think we did movie nights and all that. And it was pretty cool because I think it was every Wednesday, and we would just organize everything, and we would have to make sure everything would be good for the event.
Thank you so much for sharing. The middle grade students are really impressive with the events that they put together. I've seen a couple dances that you all have organized in the community room, and they're just beautiful. They look like such fun events. Thank you for sharing about your extracurricular involvement.
So we are really, really proud of our families. We have so many families who have gotten involved to make this school happen, and we would not be here in Hayward without our amazing families. So I'm looking forward to having a couple of our parents join us here to talk a little bit about what they appreciate about our family community here at Impact. So, Maria, ¿cómo has reunido aquí con nosotros aquí en Impact como un pariente?
Pues yo de la manera que, yo digo, hay muchas maneras donde uno puede involucrarse en Impact. Hay field trips, hay muchas cosas, los bailes que hacen, la semana de los maestros. Yo ahorita, a veces por causa de trabajo, que el tiempo, yo trato siempre, como cuando hay los paseos, es cuando yo voy, cuando me dan la oportunidad que vaya, casi siempre, gracias a Dios me la han dado. Y o a veces cuando hacen los eventos en la escuela, si no puedo ir yo personalmente, pues también como uno se puede involucrar es con las donaciones que necesitan, y de esas maneras es de las maneras que yo trato de involucrarme ahí en Impact.
Gracias, Maria. Y Ms. Felder, how has your experience been in terms of as a family member and parent here at Impact?
So far, the experience has been fine. You know, with the COVID-19 and the distance learning, you know, things are a little different, but I really appreciate how you all communicate with everyone, and you all are just so nice, and I really appreciate that from all of you guys.
Yeah, COVID-19 has kind of thrown off our normal opportunities for family involvement here at school. We would typically do our monthly Spartan Family Association meetings, and we have different sports boosters and teacher appreciation events, school beautification, to work on our campus, exhibition nights and field trips and conferences. So in a normal year, we get to do all of that together. But right now, we're all on Zoom, but I'm glad to hear that you have felt welcomed in your first couple of months as a sixth grade family here at the school.
Right. No, it was really nice. And I have to say one more thing. The last meeting we had with you guys and you did the funny hat thing, I like that. That was really cool.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do more funny hats in the future. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Impact Academy's results. As I mentioned before, Impact Academy is really proud of being recognized by organizations like Innovate Public Schools and US News. Were ranked for being one of the top performing high schools in the nation. And on the next slide, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our college results. Wonderful. So this is the entire reason why we're here, is to support students in accessing college. And I'm really proud to say that for the class of 2020, 89% of our students were accepted to four-year universities, which is far and above what we see in local school districts and districts around the state. So Impact Academy is really successful at achieving our mission. And that once they get into college, 90% of our students persist throughout their freshman year. I'm not sure if Mr. Nares is still in the room. If he is, I would love to invite him back to talk a little bit about how we accomplish this. So what does it look like in our students' junior and senior years to make sure they have access to college?
Yeah, so senior year, fall semester, like it's pretty much go time, right? Because that's the college application season. And so it's really about helping the students identify what is going to be their balanced college list, right? So the idea is like that they pick schools that are quote unquote like safety schools, and then a good match school, and then schools that are kind of a reach, like it's kind of tough to get in, but they want to put them in anyway. And then we dive right in to help them complete the applications. Beyond that, we also know that college is very expensive, and the average person can't just pay for it out of pocket, right? So financial aid is huge, and we all know that what we do want is to support our students during 12th grade while they're doing the application season to also submit their financial aid applications. And we also partner with financial aid advisors to make sure that they're entering all their information accurately and on time. And then moving past that, once we get into the springtime with the seniors, we also do an annual event where we do, it's basically called like award letter review night. So all the kids, they know what schools have accepted them and which schools have rejected them. And then we help them decide which is the best financial aid package of the schools that accepted them. So that way they're making a real educated, smart decision about which school to go to from a financial perspective, because we don't want them to get into a lot of education debt, which is a big problem in the US right now. So I think I feel really proud that we have the support and partnership with other financial aid experts to help our students and our parents make a wise financial decision so that they're not walking out of college with a ton of debt. And then I think another thing that we're getting better at every year is building strong connections with our alumni, right? So now they're in college, and being able to keep in touch with them so that they can come back and serve on panels for our current high school students. So that way it's kind of like continuing the tradition and demystifying college, right? So that our current students can see themselves as college students, and it doesn't seem like this is something that's intimidating or out of reach, right? Or not for them. And then we also, switching gears to the 11th grade, we really start to work with the 11th graders in the spring semester on just kind of getting them prepped and primered for what's ahead of them in 12th grade. You had also mentioned, Ms. Green, about SAT prep and all that. And we do that every year. We've connected students with SAT prep organizations to help them get like 4 practice tests throughout the year so that when it comes time to actually take the real one, they're more comfortable and ready to do that. Things are different now, obviously, with COVID. So the SATs and the ACTs aren't what they used to be and aren't really even considered this year. But nevertheless, over the past several years, we've always had a good tradition of supporting students with those standardized tests to get into college. And so I think when we put all that together, and I think doing it in a group setting that's very supportive for the students, right? So that they're not just left to do it at home on the weekends at night, but we use school time to do that. I think that makes a huge difference because that support is built into the school day.
Thanks so much, Mr. Naras. I know that we have lots of families watching this right now who they have incoming 6th graders. And so they might not even be thinking about these details right now, but I just am so appreciative of you coming and sharing, because such an important part of what we do is from the moment that students step on Impact's campus, our mission is to make sure that regardless of whether or not they decide to go to college after they graduate, we want every student to have access to the best school possible. So thank you for sharing a bit about our process.
Sure.
I can talk a little bit about our Panorama survey results. The Panorama survey is a survey that we ask students to complete twice a year, and our families fill it out once a year. And the survey asks students to talk about their experiences with school safety, student-teacher relationships, and their sense of belonging. And we're really proud to share that Impact Academy ranks in the top 10% of schools like ours nationwide when we're looking at the results of these surveys. So not only is it a school where Impact is providing a strong academic program, we're also providing a place where students feel like they belong and feel like they can connect with the adults that they're working with. Impact is also a pretty fun place to go to school. It's also a really fun place to work. Mr. Bryan and Mr. Key can talk a little bit more about community meetings because they're really good at hosting them, but they are opportunities where our entire school comes together to play games. Our advisories compete against each other, and we celebrate our growth throughout the year. We also host spirit weeks where students get to dress up and compete against each other. And we host dances and something called Mix It Up, which is like a club day. It's our opportunity for all of our clubs to show up and recruit new members and sell really delicious food and listen to music and dance together.
Yeah, community meeting is many students and teachers' most loved time of the week. Like, we pack, well, not right now, but normally, we pack the community room with almost 400 middle school students, and these crazy competitions happen, and there's cheering going on, there's like awards being given. So it's just a super fun time of the week. Mr. B is the person who hosts it. He's doing a crazy good job right now of all the backstage hosting of this presentation. So major props to Mr. B for the work that he does each week around community meetings.
Okay, so how do you get into Impact? You need to apply during open enrollment. Right now it is open enrollment until February the 26th. To apply, you go to es-impact.org/enroll, and there will be a button there that will take you into School Mint, and you fill out the application. Please take your time in filling out the application. Make sure your data is correct and that you've given us all the phone numbers possible to get in touch with you for when you for after the lottery. We're going to hold the lottery on March 1st, 2021. It's all done by computer, so there's nothing to see or to watch. But after the lottery is done, we will call you and let you know if you've made it into Impact or if you're on the wait list. And we will also email you. So you'll get several different ways of communications about where are you in the lottery. The lottery on March 1st is for 6th graders. We will have lotteries for 7th through 12th. But you will still remain on the wait list until we find out how our re-enrollment's going. So that comes later, more like April or May. And so once you receive the a communication or the phone call, you will have a week to get back into School Mint and accept the offer and then do the registration. So that's the process. Good luck.
Thanks, Linda. And everyone, just to let you know, both Linda and our enrollment coordinator and director at the support office, Kishay, will be collaborating to be in touch with you as you go through the enrollment process. Linda will be responding to all of your different questions as you have, as they come up through the enrollment process. So huge thanks to Linda, who's also a founder of Impact Academy. So a special announcement and invitation for our 6th graders. If you are accepted into the 6th grade, we will be having a special event for you in the spring. In the past, this has been an ice cream social and tour of the school where you get to meet your teachers. We don't yet know what the spring of 2021 holds for us. So maybe virtual, maybe in person, depending on the county guidelines. But our hope on that day is to answer all of your questions and start to get to know each other. So this brings us to the end of our info session. We want to thank you for joining us for this event. We look forward to meeting you in the future in person when it is safe to do so. Please remember that you remember to submit your application online on time by February 26th. And we hope that you'll join us for any upcoming enrollment sessions and Q&A sessions. And we will be sending out when those sessions are via email. So make sure that you are checking your email. Once again, thanks for watching. I'd like to invite all of our different panel members to come back through the main stage to say thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you have a great night.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Mr. B, you were amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. We hope this was very informative for you, and we hope to see you soon. Don't forget to go to our website, es-impact.org, for more information. Have a wonderful day.